Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying on all my nude, pink, brown, beige lipstick from MAC. I have created a bit of a collection. As we can see, this is actually like a MAC bag that came in a recent order for free. I have 16 lipsticks here and a couple lip liners as well. Oh God. I want to go through and put them on my lips and show you how they look. As I said, this is all pretty much nude toned lipsticks. There's nothing really that adventurous in here. There's no dark berries or reds or bright pinks, or it's very neutral what we've got going on here, but hopefully there will be something for everybody in this selection. And I hope this will help you make any decisions if you're like trying to weigh up between two shades or something. I hope this will show you how it looks very clearly on my skin color. As we can see, I'm very pale at the moment, is the winter, but I do have a bit of a olive undertone, I'd say. Like I do lean that little bit warmer. I tan very easily, but I'm just pale at the moment. So bear in mind that because I am warmer, lipsticks may show up differently if you have a very pinky skin tone. I have a lot of the classics in here, and I do have Velvet Teddy and Cool Teddy and Warm Teddy. So if you're wondering which one is better for olivey skin or the opposite, I hope this will help. I will swatch every colour on my hand and I will put them on my lips bare so you have a real good understanding of what that colour looks like. But I do have 3 lip liners here that, depending on the colour, I will pick. If I feel like it's a lighter tone, that showing it with a lip liner is beneficial for you because you will probably wear it with a lip liner too. So I do have MAC Cool Spice and Makeup Forever in Endless Cacao and Anyway Caffeine. I really like these lip liners. Their formula is so creamy. So they're really good in the sense of when I've already got lipstick on and to put liner on the top, sometimes some lip liners really struggle doing that, or when you've got like a creamy lipstick on, these don't struggle with that. I really want Wearable Walnut, but it's like out of stock everywhere. So never mind, one day I'll find it somewhere and I'll buy it, but at the moment these are the 2 that I have. I'm coming off track. I'm gonna go by formula. So I have the 3 different formulas in here. I have the Sleek Satin, the Matte, and the Lustreglass. The Lustreglass to me have been a recent love that I've kind of discovered and have bought a lot in recent time, whereas the Matte formula is something that I've kind of built slowly. Let's just cut to the chase and put these on my lips. In case you are interested, MAC has actually recently changed their packaging for their lipsticks. So for example, this is their old matte lipstick packaging. And now they've kind of, as you can see here, they've kind of got this bigger silver band which has matte written on it. So that's still a matte formula, but they are very different looking. This does make it a lot easier when you're going through your makeup to find what you want. Annoyingly, that's a Sleek Satin and that's a matte. They do look the same, but the Lustreglass is a bit of a shinier packaging, so that's easier to distinguish between them, which is helpful. I'm going to start with the Sleek Satin because that's the one I have the least amount of. I also want to add that I have 2 shades in this whole 16 lipsticks that are discontinued, and I was weighing up whether to include them or not, but I decided to in case it is one of your like old faves and you can't get it anymore and you want to see what other shades are out there that compare that you might like. I decided to keep the 2 in. So these are my 4 Sleek Satin lipsticks that I've got, and here's one that's discontinued, so you can see the difference in the packaging. It's actually a little bit taller, the new packaging. I'm going to start with Blankety. Here it is, pretty new one. So this is Blankety. It's a bit of a soft pink beige. It's very light and a bit cool toned. Swatch it. My face and hand are very different colours at the moment because I'm so pale. So let's try Blankety on. I do really like this Sleek Satin formula. MAC did sum up the kind of shade of this quite well, I think, that it is a soft pink beige nude. That is Blankety. As it's a bit of a paler shade, I will put a little bit of a lip liner to show you how that looks. I'm gonna do Anyway Caffeine. I think that just added a little bit of definition to the edges, which I like. That's Blankety. I think it is very pretty. I do like with how light it is, it doesn't take away from the rest of my makeup at all, which is really nice. It's good for the pale skin girlies, I think, if you're wanting a nice nude, really. It's a very nice formula in that I think it's a bit of a, in the middle of the matte and the Lustreglass, that you have this shine, but it has more colour payoff than the Lustreglass. We'll see how this old formula compares to the discontinued, because I'm going to now try on Cherish. You can see my lips are actually a bit brighter than that nude. But anyway, next we'll take MAC Cherish. This is a bit like warmer, a bit more beige, I'd say. Definitely a bit more peachier undertones. But I think I like the new formula more. I think it's a little bit more glossy, and I do like a bit more glossy lipsticks. The colour payoff, I'd say, is similar though. So this is Cherish. I do think it is very flattering, and I see why people are very upset that it's been discontinued. It's very much like a pinky beige neutral, still quite light, that it works for lighter skin, but it's not too pale that I think this looks nice on its own on me, but it also works with a lip liner if that's what you want to do. So it's a great chuck on and go, I would say. I think it's very flattering. It complements like my blush well. There's not much to say. Sad to see that she's been discontinued, but I'm grateful I have one. So next is Modesty I'm gonna take. So this is Modesty. It's a soft pink, muted though, it's not too bright. I don't wear bright pinks. I don't find them very flattering on me at all, but I'll try Modesty on for you. Yeah, this formula just glides on. It's really nice. Okay, so this one, I don't think it's that flattering on me. It's definitely like a blue pink, like a blue undertone. Whereas I do normally go for a bit more rosy, I'd say, like a more brown pink. So I would put this with a warm lip liner. But for people who have cool toned skin, Modesty would be a great colour for you. I do think I like these updated formulas more. But yeah, so that's Modesty. It definitely has a pinky, bluey sort of undertone. Like I can kind of see it in the, it's a bit more mauve, like a bluey mauve. But yeah, it's something that I don't reach for as much. It really depends on the makeup, depends on the lip liner. That's Modesty. I know it is a cult favorite, and I know with the updated formula, some people aren't that happy about it. I do like the formula, but some people's favorite colors might have changed, which is annoying for them. So I hope this helps. Okay, and last of the Sleek Satin lipsticks is a little bit of a deeper one. It's Cream in Your Coffee. It's a mid-tone rosy brown. Definitely got that rose undertone to it that I think is a bit more flattering on me. Wow, look at that color payoff. This is definitely a sort of shade that some people might dab on to do a light application, but I do like it at full power. I think it's really flattering. And it does remind me of, I don't have Paramount. This is the sort of shade that is very 90s sitcom. This is something I would have seen them wearing in Friends, probably. Like it's kind of a dark shade, but still somehow feels quite subtle. See it on my whole face. It's really nice. I really like it. I think this is really flattering on my skin. The formula is beautiful for this shade. So I think I'm going to move on to the Lustreglass formula. I love the Lustreglass formula. It's such an easy one to kind of have in your bag and just throw on whenever. You can have it as like a really subtle kind of lip, or you can build it up with liners and all sorts. It's just so versatile. I love it. I love it so much. I've now got 5. I think I've found all the ones that I kind of want. I'm not really looking out for any others. Such a good formula. So good. If someone wants something that's a bit more forgiving and doesn't like bold lips, this is like kind of if lip gloss and lipstick had a baby. Weird description, but anyway. Let's take Alone Time first. This was part of like a release of 3 nudes. So Alone Time, Signature Move, which I have, and Uncensored. I don't have Uncensored. So these are nude nudes. It's a mauve brown. It's very cool toned. See what I mean? They have less colour payoff, but they are very shimmery. Not shimmery, glossy. This is beautiful. This has come up on me as a very much like a cool brown gloss. I love that sort of thing. Like, makes me think of Summer Fridays Vanilla Beige. I love stuff like that. Like, I love a cool brown. Formula feels beautiful. I'm not really trying to sell you on the formulas, but the shades are beautiful. But yeah, it's not a big payoff of colour. Very much gives the vibe of a gloss. So I'm going to pick Hug Me next. And this is a shade that I've been reaching for so much recently. Like, this has been my go-to for a bit. It's very similar to Alone Time. I'd say it's a bit warmer and a bit more blushed. It's so stunning. I love this shade so much. Warm, blushed, brownie nude. Feels so comfortable. It's subtle, but it just adds a nice gloss and colour to your lips. They look juicy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I can't recommend that one enough for if you have olive skin. Onto one that is a lot of people's favourite, and I do really like it, is Thanks It's MAC. So I'd say we're kind of moving more from brown, and I don't know if you can see, focus on the lipstick. There is a slight silver pearl in this lipstick, is what the MAC website says. But yeah, this is a lot of people's favorite. We're like kind of, as we go from Alone Time to Hug Me, we're getting pinkier. I'd say Alone Time is very much brown, then Hug Me gets a bit pinkier, and Thanks It's MAC gets a little bit pinkier. But they're all in a sort of similar depth. Very much like a warm pink. Yeah, that's a nice warm pink. It's a bit pinky on me. Some people, this shows up almost brown, but for me, because of my skin tone, this is like a nude pink. I do really like the shade, and honestly, up close, I can't really see the silver pearl that they're talking about. But with it being glossy, I guess that's hard to see. This is my lips but better for me. Like, this is, she just looks like a slightly amped up glossy version of my lips. But I have been leaning more towards Hug Me because it's got that warmth brown undertone. Let me swatch the first three next to each other. So this is Alone Time, Hug Me, and Thanks It's MAC. They're very similar depth, but we just get a bit pinkier as we go through. So brown, like a rosy brown, we're getting a bit more pink. There are pinkier shades. There's stuff like Syrup, but I would say they're too pinky for me that I wouldn't find them very flattering, and hence I don't own it. Some people Thanks It's MAC is very brown for them, but yeah, there's them too. There's them three. Let's go a little bit deeper now. So this is Signature Move. They say online that it's a grade. I would say it's just a deeper version of like Alone Time and Hug Me. It's very much more brown than grey, I would say. I'll try it on and show you how it looks. I do really like this. This is very much like a brown on me, a warm brown. I don't see the grey undertones like at all. But yeah, I'd say it's just a bit more of a deeper version of Alone Time. It's flattering for me if I just want that bit more of a kind of reminds me of where I was sort of saying Cream in Your Coffee is a bit 90s. This is also quite 90s. As you can see, it's got that little bit more depth. Lighter skin tones, it's more nude. For me, it's a bit more, we're leaning into statement pieces. I do really like that one. And on to my last one of the Lustreglass range. This is Posh Pit. This is a very like rose brown, I'd say. Got that bit more rosiness to it compared to Uncensored. Oh, my application is getting a bit shoddy now. But yeah, this is very much a very similar depth to Signature Move, but has more rosy undertones, I'd say. So if you want something that's a bit more pinky, but deep, Posh Pit. If you want something more brown, Uncensored. And that, ooh, just dropped one. And that's all my Lustreglass shades. And now onto my matte shades. I have 7 here. I've got a double of 2. So I've got Velvet Teddy, old and new. I thought I'd do a comparison. And my old Velvet Teddy is very old. A few of these are quite light, so I probably will do a lip liner with a bit of them. The first one I'm going to take is Honeylove. This is the old Honeylove, but I have gone and watched people's comparison of old Honeylove versus new Honeylove, and it looks pretty identical. It's one that they've actually kind of have matched the shades on quite well. I think in their swatches, they looked ever so slightly different, but when you see it on people's lips, it looks the same. And Honeylove is one of them that I will always do with the lip liner pretty much. So a very slight difference doesn't mean a lot to me. But yeah, this is Honeylove. It's actually quite used. But yeah, so these are the matte lipsticks. They do have a lot of colour payoff and they are matte, as you can imagine. Honeylove on its own for me very much washes my lips out, but it is one of the perfect shades of pairing with a lip liner. But yeah, this is very light beige with a rose undertone, I'd say. This is more warm, rosy rather than a real cool nude. Let's pair it with Anywhere Caffeine again. This is it on its own. If you have really, really fair skin, this could be a really good nude for you. If a lipstick is lighter than my natural lip colour, that's when I can find it looks a little bit washed out on me. I'm going to take a bit of a lip liner. It's great with it being so light toned to get like a dimensional lip. You know, if you really want that kind of darker outline and a lighter in the middle. Next, I'm gonna take another light shade. And this is another one that I've got the old formula of. I don't see a point in repurchasing as what I've seen is they're very comparable still. So this is Yash. Yash is a very light neutral nude. The website calls this ultra light. I don't know if this is ultra light. There's a lot lighter creamy lipsticks out there. This is very much like a cool toned rosy brown that's on the lighter side. I'd say it's actually a bit peachy as well. But as you can see, it's very kind of similar depth to my natural lip colour. This is a bit too light for me and opaque to wear on its own. Kind of the Lustreglass shades I'd say are quite light, but where they're kind of sheer and don't completely wipe out my lip colour, I wear them on their own a lot. Whereas Yash is so opaque, I think it all being light is a lot. It washes out my lips, but once again, I'd say Yash is a perfect base for a lip liner. I'll compare it to Honeylove. Honeylove, Yash. Honeylove's a little bit pinkier, I'd say. Yash is a little bit darker and browner. I'm going to do a little bit of Cool Spice from MAC, just around the edge. I think these two as a combo are really nice. Beautiful. Love them two together. I couldn't get super good colour payoff by going over the top with the lipstick, but I would like to add as well, as I'm about to move into the new matte formula, the old matte formula, they're matte, they call them matte. They do have a slight sheen to them, as you can tell, which means they are still quite moisturising. Your lips don't crack. Kind of like when matte liquid lipstick was a thing and the ultra matte look. That's not this. It definitely has the slightest sheen to it, but they're matter than their other formulas. But we'll see how comparable it feels to the new matte formula, but not yet, because I'm going to do a discontinued one first. I'm going to do Love You Back. So this is Love You Back. I'm going to do it as a comparison next to these ones. So I'd say this is a cooler pink nude in the row. So where you have Yash, Honeylove, Love You Back, this is more pinkier with that kind of blue tone that I was saying is kind of comparable to Modesty. Let me actually, as I say that, let's swatch Modesty next to it. Oh my God, they're actually really similar. So that's Love You Back and that's Modesty. Modesty is probably slightly a bit pinkier and warmer, but they are very comparable. So I'll put Love You Back on. This is very much cool, bit bluey grey undertone for a nude. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It's not one that I would reach to a lot because I think it looks really cool toned compared to my skin. It makes my lips look a little bit dead. So I'm not that fussed that that one's been discontinued compared to Cherish. I think Cherish is a lot nicer for my skin tone. But if you need a cool pinky nude, go for Modesty because you can't get this one anymore. Look at these lipsticks I've got going on now. We are now moving into the Teddy shades. So let's go for the classic. I have Velvet Teddy and I have Velvet Teddy. This is an old one. This was a limited edition packaging. Not gonna lie, this is probably 8 to 10 years old and this is a new Velvet Teddy. So here is them next to each other. How the formula looks on these new lipsticks, they look matter from the outside. This looks a little bit richer when you look at it in the packaging. Let's swatch it. I think these are very similar. I would say they're so similar, but they look slightly different because the new one here has better opacity, I think. It has a bit more color payoff, which I think is what's making them look different. And is maybe slightly rosier, but we're talking like this is very comparable. That's the old one on top, and then the new one on the bottom. I would say these are the exact same shades, to be honest. I'm just gonna put that one on the top. I feel like the new formula is a little bit less creamy. It reminds me a little bit more of like the Powder Kiss feeling. Still not as powdery and dry as that, but it's starting to lean more that way rather than being glossy. But there's still like a creaminess feeling that means I don't think your lips will get dry. But yeah, that's Velvet Teddy. This lipstick was like it 10 years ago. I wanted it so bad. It was my first like high-end lipstick I ever had. And it is still really flattering. How would I describe it? A rosy mauve beige. I remember being quite surprised how rosy it was on me. I felt a lot more people it looked brown, but it does come up a bit rosy on me, but it's still stunning. I think let's go for Warm Teddy. So this is Warm Teddy. Yeah, these lipsticks are definitely very opaque. Oh no, my application is terrible. I think because these feel so opaque, you do have to almost be a little bit careful with your application. I love this shade. This is less rosy, I think, on me, and a little bit more, what would I call this? The MAC website calls it dirty, which I kind of do feel it's definitely a bit more, it's really hard to describe, warm undertones. It's Velvet Teddy, just a bit warmer, less rosy, bit warmer, bit more browny, I guess, but still very rosy on me. More warm tones and like a blue undertone, I'd say. It's very flattering. I really like this one on myself, which will be interesting. Let's see what Cool Teddy looks like on me then. And then I'll swatch them all side by side. Last but not least, Cool Teddy. Oh my God, that is like my exact lip colour. That is exactly my lip colour with a slight cool bluier undertone, but I like it way more than like the cool undertone of Modesty. This is way more wearable on me. Yeah, for a cool lipstick, that looks really good on me, despite me liking warm a little bit more. And that's decided it for me though, that warm is more flattering on me than cool. Cool pulls blue on me and can make my lips look a little bit lifeless, whereas if I go a bit warmer, that's when I think I find more life in my makeup. That's really the coolest I'd go, and I think it looks nice. What do you think? Here is them all swatched with Velvet Teddy in the middle, Cool Teddy and Warm Teddy. I think Warm Teddy looks really different from them as a set. I think Velvet Teddy and Cool Teddy are very comparable. It just seems almost a little bit lighter and more wearable. Cool Teddy, I think. It's a bit more rosier in the middle, and then we definitely get more of the brown. What would I call it? Why can't it's the word? It's just not coming to me. Dirtier. Let's take Mac's words, and it's a bit dirtier. Warm Teddy, Velvet Teddy, Cool Teddy. But they're all really nice, and they all flatter me. I would say I really did like the look of Warm Teddy, but this one, I still like it. But I would see it being more flattering on some other people, to be honest. I'd find myself putting like a warmer lip gloss on it, probably. We have swatched every single lipstick, and you can see Cool Teddy from a distance now. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? They're all swatched, every single one. Surprisingly, my lips feel okay, despite it, because I think MAC is quite a comfortable lip brand, depending whether it's a Lustreglass or a matte formula. They're still really comfortable. Gonna put a little bit of Signature Move on the top. Yum. Okay. I did crazily decide to swatch every single one of these lipsticks and have them all next to each other so you can see how they look compared to each other. And I hope it's helpful so you can see how everything looks together. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was thinking about building on this video and kind of trying some of the favorite lipsticks with different lip liners and making different combinations, maybe seeing how you can change up one lipstick with multiple lip liners or how one lip liner looks with these lipsticks. If you have any suggestions or color lip liners, whether from MAC or another brand, or any of these lipsticks in particular you want to see with lip liners, just let me know. I'd love to do a video like that. I pretty much use lip liner with every lipstick most of the time. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was informative and hope you found your new favorite lipstick. What I have right here is just like my passion. I don't wear lipstick from really much any other brand. This is like pretty much most of my lipsticks that I own because they're so good. If you have any ideas, let me know and subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.